The goal there in the end as Real Betis get one, not nearly enough. Barcelona 5-1 winners as they advance to the quarterfinals.
Give them a guard of honor every game, I say.
Right.
Yeah?
Give Barcelona a guard of honor every single game.
We got Luis Garcia here, who, of course, had a very keen eye.
Don't wind me up.
Don't wind him up.
Got time. Go to Luis, and we'll have some.
Yes.
We'll go in and get some balanced analysis before I go in with my sledgehammer on this Betis.
I'm angry for guard of honor.
Give it time. I'm not angry yet.
Who knew that the guard of honor would be the thing that set Craig off on this edition of ESPN FC? Luis, we've always wondered with this Barcelona team, after a good performance, can they back it up again? They certainly did here today.
Yeah, exactly. And it was needed. It was needed because after a great result, a good performance against Real Madrid, just keep it that momentum, keep it that consistency is what they're going to need from now until the end of the season. Let's don't forget, they are 6 points away from Atletico de Madrid and 5 behind Real Madrid, the biggest rival, and they need to continue performing. At the weekend, they're going to play against Getafe. Tough team when you play in their home, and we come from Barcelona that struggle against Leganés, struggle against Las Palmas, and today it was needed a good result. And again, a fantastic performance. Superb from the beginning until the end. It's during the last maybe 15 minutes. They slow down everything. But I think the game was already put it to bed. So fantastic performance. Nothing to say about what Hansi Flick has been doing, because we were a little bit concerned because of the results lately. But we've seen the best of this Barcelona, and they got probably 4 or 5 more players waiting for their opportunity. That they are already in the 11 started for the weekend. So let's see if they can continue doing exactly the same. Because again, this is not about today's game, it's how long they can keep this momentum.
I mean, whose idea was that? Got guard of honor. Seriously.
Can I say, it didn't look like it was the Betis players. They didn't look enthused to be there.
I don't, if Barcelona win the Copa del Rey, which hasn't finished yet, obviously, this is happening today, La Liga and the Champions League, you go, wow, hey, well done. The Super Copa in Saudi Arabia. And guess what? Then they go and roll out the red carpet, which is why it made me so angry. They roll out, and Luis mentioned it at half-time. Chasing shadows was what he said. Mm-hmm. Betis chasing shadows. That game could have been 7 or 8, easy. Out with the 2 goals that were ruled out for offside, very, very tightly. Correctly, but very tightly. Betis were embarrassing. It's no wonder they're sitting 10th in La Liga. And as for all this guard of honours, where are we? Mid-January, we're giving teams guard of honour. Just get on the field. How about getting on the field and making a tackle? Getting your foot in, working hard, defending. Absolute nonsense. I mean, who comes up with all these things, whether it's tradition in Spain or not? I don't care. I'm more worried about going out and making a game of it, and they did not. That being said,
Barcelona were pretty good.
Well, yes, but it was made so easy at times by this Betis side. However, bearing in mind how Barca finished the first half of the season before the break, this is a good signal, these 2 games. There's no doubt about it. Players still in form, are hitting form again, a huge threat going forward. Ronald Araujo back, or he's been back for a bit, but he hasn't played. The contract sort of transfer saga it seems over, so that's another body in there to help out, because it's been Martinez and Cubarsí who've done pretty well. But you saw that was a tackle that Araujo made in the second half when he got across to the left back area when Betis were on the counter-attack, and he made up 30 yards and slid in, won the ball back. He's big, he's quick, he's physical, he's experienced, and I think this bodes well for the second half of the season. I think for Barca, not that I think they're going to be favourites, because I think it's very tight in there. Of course it is. 3 teams can win this league. But it bodes well for Hansi Flick that the cobwebs from the end of the first half of the season seem to have been dusted away. And those struggles at the moment have gone. Now they need to take this into La Liga and put a run together. And it is going to be so much fun watching the second half of this season. I was there, it had been a 10-man guard of honour. and I tell you what, I would have canvassed a few of my teammates to make it a 6 or a 7-man. I'd have been on the field ready to go. I just honestly, end of the season maybe, I just don't like this thing. I think the mindset it's too kind of well done, friendly. It's not about that. I'd just rather see Betis going out and made a tackle, being competitive, which they were not. And they got, let's be honest, I don't want to dwell on it. I may though.
I've been known to, he says.
Right. Oh, God.
I don't want to do it. They got hammered today, which is what we talked about before the game. Most of us thought that this was going to be an easy-ish game for Barca, that it wasn't going to be tight, and it panned out that way for once.
Let me just say, as far as the Guard of Honor is concerned, I'm 100% with Luis. I couldn't care less.
Hey, leave it.
Though I have to admit, seeing Craig get more angry each time it was shown was absolutely hilarious.
Listen,
it was so much fun to see Craig.
Swapping shots.
As much fun as it was seeing Craig get more angry as the day went on. Listen, I think Betis aren't as bad a side as they looked against Barcelona. And I think that's a compliment to Barcelona here. This Barcelona looked like the Barcelona we saw early on in the season. Even though early on in the season, even when they were running away with games, there was always this very tight balancing act with this high defensive line, and could Barcelona kind of maintain that, or would other teams be able to figure it out? I thought there was a whole lot less of a defensive concern, so it seems as though Hansi Flick is getting that balance right. So all credit to Barcelona for their performance, for the win, and everything about you saw over the course of the 90 minutes.
You come out with something interesting during that second half, actually, which
is rare.
I took note of it. I put it in my calendar, time and the date. Was Rafinha? Is there a better? We'll say this. We had a quick think about it. Mm-hmm. Is there a better wide pairing in world football at the moment?
Easily make the argument that Rafinha has been more important to Barcelona this season. That's how good they both have been.
Luis, how good was that duo today?
Oh, fantastic. And let's not forget that these two players were fighting for the same position. But Rafinha has had to adapt to the situation, adapt or die, because Lamine Yamal was just really superb every single time that he was on the field. And it's been quite a long period since he hasn't make a bad game. He always delivers something special, even though at some point you could see that he managed his physical strength. But every single time when he feels good on the field, he just makes the difference. And Rafinha, a player who was, again, fighting in that right position, he has adapted so well to his new role, make to the left side, because with the freedom to go inside, make diagonals, he's scoring a lot of goals, he's creating chances. His work rate is just incredible from the first game that we saw play for Barcelona until today. Confidence has grown so much. And right now, again, they gave him the armband because of something, and Hansi Flick has got a lot of confidence in this player. So right now, I agree with Craig. It's very difficult to find a couple as strong as this one in Europe.
All right, there is Luis Garcia, no doubt very happy after Barcelona advances to the quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey with
Should we give him a guard of honour on his way out?
We should. 5-1, the final score.
Fantastic.